is Sammy, social work. This video, I'll be sharing with you life and experience about marriage relationship. In my previous video, I talked about violence and marriage and marriage relationship. So in this video, I'm with Dr. Diana. Please can you introduce yourself?
My name is Pharmacist Diana and I'm a pharmacist.
Wow, and I'm with my very good friend again. Please can you introduce yourself?
I'm Ogowenyere Omobiadi, an accountant and an entrepreneur. In short, OG.
Right. And these important persons, they're going to talk on this topic so as to enable us who are yet to marry or those persons in marriage to know how to keep their marriage properly. So, I've been thinking about marriage lately because I did an IT program with Edo State gender issue, and my 6 months there, I get to understand that marriage is really shaking, mostly in our society. People tend to leave marriage, and I did research about it. I feel that the foundation of marriage, the structure is really faulty. So I don't know if you have an advice or you have your own perspective towards marriage. So we'll start from you.
Okay. Unfortunately, the youth of this generation are a bit devoid of the foundation that borders on having successful marriages. I think a lot of them just rush into the institution, and thus there's a lot of failures. Aside love, marriage is built on values. So if you marry a person who you do not share same values with, and you border just on the principles of love, the marriage will not stand the test of time, because two people are coming from two different backgrounds, two different views to life. What holds us together is the values that we share. And when we say values are things that we stand for, irrespective of what is happening. So if you come from a place where you value the truth and your partner does not know how to tell the truth, there's bound to be conflict of interest. So I think the first and major thing that people need to understand when going into the institution of marriage is the issue of values. And then there's spirituality. A lot of people are not spiritually mature enough for marriage, irrespective of your religion. Whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, or an idolater, you must be spiritually mature for marriage, because marriage comes with responsibilities, children, bills, emotions and all of that, and those are responsibilities that you need beyond the physical, to handle. So for people who are not spiritually mature, when things come, it hits them and it takes them out, because if the foundation of a tree is not well grounded, when the storm comes, it will pick it up. So values, spirituality, then love, and then you look at the finances, because marriage is expensive. By the time children come, you cannot tell a child that you don't have money to buy diapers or food or medicines. Those are essential. So you must have the financial capability to handle marriage. Marriage is not rice and beans, so to speak. So the financial ability to handle the responsibilities that come with marriage is also very important, because finance is one of the first places where the strain comes from. If a man doesn't have money, he's grumpy.
Yeah.
If a woman cannot afford her basic needs, she's unhappy. And while I advise women planning to go into marriage to have some form of financial independence, by the origin and makings of marriage, the major financial responsibility still rests on the man. So for a man to go into marriage, he should have some form of financial backings, a job, a business, an alternative source of income, something that brings in definite income monthly into that family. So if those are properly handled and settled, I believe that we'll have less issues bordering on marriages breaking up, not working, the strain, the resultant violence, single parenthood, societal ills that we are faced with in today's society.
Thank you. I learned a lot. I get to understand that the first thing in marriage is not value. Then you must know how to respect. Then that's mean the end point of it is financial issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So how about you? Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chidwen. From there, I've said a lot, and I will just emphasize on a few things she has said. Yes, you're right. There are lots of problems in marriages today, lots of divorce, separations, and the rest. But we must all know that people enter marriage for different reasons, and no two marriages are the same. My marriage can't be like Famdi's marriage. Your marriage can't be like my marriage. So no two marriages are the same. Every marriage have their rules, just like she said. Every marriage have their value, their core values. My marriage might be based on truth, love, transparency, financial goals. Another marriage can be bent on academic growth. So you must understand why you're going into marriage. It's like going to the university. You can't go to school without knowing what you're going to study. You can't go to school without having it, okay, I might have carryover, I might have to step down, crisis might happen, ASU strike might happen. So it is with marriage. When you're going into marriage, you must understand that there are going to be bad times, there are going to be good times. It's not always going to be rosy. If you understand that first, then other principles that you and your partner want to indulge or bring to the table will flow. Now, like she said, values. You must have values. You must have that value. It's very important. If you have that, that one is settled. I talk of growth, intimidacy. You must have that growth. Some people are not emotionally ready to accept the truth. For example, I tell people, you might get married to someone that is financially buoyant now. What happens? Just like she said, business, job. If the job goes, what can you back on? So gone are the days that we just depend on our white collar jobs. Now we're in the era of using our hands to make money. You're a YouTuber, for example. Month end, your alert is in your phone.
Exactly.
You are keeping us here. You are actually not going to pay us, but we are here for you.
Yeah.
So that's how marriage is. You must have something
Sacrifice
to offer in the marriage. What do you have to offer? If you're on the table that you're just receiving either from the man or from the woman, there's going to be a shaking in the marriage. You must have something to offer. Is it business? Is it making hair? Is it selling? For example, I cook. I still go to work. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm an event planner. I have something to offer. So every marriage have their values. Every marriage have what keeps them in the marriage. So first and foremost, most of our people, I won't say ladies because I have ladies friends, but most people, both men and female, we just want to go into a home that is financially stable. I'm sure you've seen that from D. Just want to go into a home, everything is ready. The papa gets, the mama gets, the siblings get. Family is in abroad, family siblings are there. Everybody is comfortable. But there's something my grandma told me, and that thing has been what has made me who I am today. She said there are three kinds of people in this life. That's women, there are three kinds of women. There are women that are destined to marry wealthy men. Whether they are good or they are bad or they have character, they don't have character. They are destined. Now rich man they will marry.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what she told me. You know, and grandma, they are beliefs of the old.
Yeah.
They are destined. You see them, no matter what happens, this particular family, rich men, they don't struggle for it, they don't connive for it.
Yeah.
While there are another set of women, they are destined to marry an average man. You marry this average man, maybe I get married to you, I'm married although, but I'm just trying to cite an example. Maybe I get married to you, then we have to manage the YouTube together, we have to grow together. That's another kind of woman. Then the third type of woman, that woman, she's going to marry a man that don't even know where he's going to. He has a vision, he has a plan, he has a value, but he doesn't know where he's going to. Those kind of the strong ladies, they are going to marry you and push you and make you who you are going to become, make you wealthy. Wow. So when you understand that there are three types of women in this life, you won't struggle too much to be in part A, part B, or part C. You just ask yourself, understand yourself. Have I been growing my life of dating? Which kind of man has been coming my way? With that, you get to know which place to fall in. Now, when you understand yourself, because she said something, until you understand yourself, you can't even give out value. You can't. So when you understand the kind of woman you are, you will now know what you have to offer. I tell a lot of people, don't enter marriage with the intention that as I'm getting married, I'm going to be like Famdi. Every week I'll be changing my car. Yeah. Don't enter marriage with the intention that when I enter marriage, every month I'm going to be traveling to Canada or Australia. Enter marriage with...
I don't ever see people.
Yes. You might be shocked. If you shock you, marriage will shock you. But enter marriage with, yes, I have God. These are my goals. These are my values. You have to sit down. No matter how you sit and talk with someone, there are times that talk not the rich. When you enter and all the talk, you talk, not talk. But communicate. Have your values. Have your strengths physically, financially, spiritually. Because you need God in everything. In the journey of marriage, you need God. It can get bored at times. It can get boring. If there is no money, as she said, when there is no money, the sweetness begins to go down. Let's not deceive ourselves. Yeah. You may not be wealthy, but as long as you're comfortable, you can afford, you can eat. You can eat what you want to eat. You can take care of the children. You can buy their milk, SMA Gold. You can buy diaper. You can afford some things. There's this joy you feel. And when you are not at peace in marriage, when you don't have joy, there's already a shaking. You're coming, you're not happy. Comparisons comes in. By the time comparison comes in, you're comparing your marriage with my friend Famdi, or you're comparing your marriage with another person's marriage. There's already a shaking. So, no matter how much you talk about marriage, no matter how much you advise people, they're still going to be divorced. You have to understand that first. No matter how you try to preach it, they're still going to be divorced. It's just that you can manage and reduce the rate of divorce. So I think I would advise people, I would advise ladies, gone are the days that ladies sit down and wait for a man to do everything. They are ladies.
You said something.
Okay, I said gone are the days ladies sit down and wait for a man to do everything.
Wow.
There are ladies that are becoming, I know lots of YouTubers. We have some Lope Solutions, Mama Diana, we have our Famdi here. Yeah. We have lots of people that are becoming great. Yeah. Why sit down and wait for a man to do everything? If you are blessed and lucky that you have a man that can do everything, exactly. Thank God. But still have value. Support him. Do something that even when he's out, you can say, thank God. When I can call my wife and say, please, I need 50,000. Can you give me 10? When they pay, I'll give you back. Just provide. Add values to yourself. Be intelligent. Then secondly, or finally, there's something that people don't really talk about. The physical appearance. You know, as funny as that is, while growing up, you know, like I tell people, every marriage has its rule, either because of how they grew up family, or what they saw while growing up, or the experience they had while growing up. But your physical appearance matters a lot. Someone like me, that is of the big size, Yes, God gives husband, God prays, you pray, you believe in husband. But you don't want me to go and marry a very small, skinny man. No, as funny as it is, it's what I'm going somewhere. As funny as it is, it's not funny. Why? Because 10 years down the lane, my body is going to change. By the time I drop 3, 4, 5, it's going to change. In as much as I'm going to marry a small, skinny man, we're going to communicate. We're going to talk about it. Please, I might try to slim, but I might not slim. You understand? You're going to talk about it. So communication matters a lot. Physical appearance matters a lot. Don't marry for today. I learned it from Reverend Funke Adejumo's message. He said, do not marry for today, marry for the future. 10 years later, will you be happy to be with this person? 10 years later, what can you offer? 10 years later, what can you say I've achieved with this person? Even among friendship, among same-sex friendship, if you are the only person providing, if you're the only one showing care, you're the only one calling, it can get tiring. So I think my advice is stick with these rules and principles. She's been in marriage longer than I have been. Stick with her rules and principles. But ask yourself, what do you want? What can you offer? These are questions you should ask. What do I want for marriage? What I want for marriage might not be what Pharm wants. Some people get married, they are happy, they don't want children. And they are happy. So what do you want? What can I offer? As funny as those questions are, if you know the answer within you and you are honest with yourself, then I think you have where you're going to.
Wow. So guys, it has been an interesting time with these intellectual beings. Wow. I feel like getting married tomorrow.
Family, what do you have to say?
Well, if he's ready.
Wow, I'm ready.
If he's ready financially, emotionally, spiritually mature enough, finds a lady who shares same values as he does, then I'm sure they'll get a good start. Recently I spoke to my cousin, who came and met me and said, sis, I met a girl I'd like to get married. I said, oh, okay, so let's talk. And then we had a conversation and I told him, I said, well, I haven't met this young lady, but from the way you talk about her to me, I don't think that girl is ready to marry. You may be ready to marry.
She's not ready.
But from what you've just, spoken to me about, she doesn't seem ready. And then my brother said, okay, sis, I've heard what you said and I'm going to take this deeply into cognizance. And he called me about 2 weeks ago and said, sis, you were right. She said she needed more time, but I don't think I have that time. And I said, if you don't have that time, then you have to look for another one because
It's ready.
There are a whole lot of options in the market. You have to look for the one that fits your need. And then going forward, couples should be kind.
Yeah.
Let's be kind to one another. A little sprinkle of love here, a large dash of kindness. It goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
You can't hold that grudge forever. Be kind to yourself, be kind to your spouse, and everything will fall right in place like Nigeria jollof rice.
Honestly, you're very right. I was going to say something before you spoke. Do you notice that Fambi is a very spiritual person? I'm sure you know that.
I'm seeing it now. Wow.
No, she is, but there's something that she did that I love, and I just learned something from her because she's been in marriage far longer than myself. But did you notice, as much as she spoke about spirituality, she didn't stress on spirituality. She was just, yes, you need God. Yes, you need to know God. But my dear, as much as you need God, finance, she stressed more on the finance. You must not be very wealthy, but be comfortable. You can't, you as a man, you can't say you are not comfortable, then you want to bring another person's child
to come and suffer
with you.
No way.
We are not saying you must be rich, we are not saying you must be wealthy, but be comfortable before bringing someone's child into your zone.
You need money to buy Madam Indomie. if that's your
Exactly.
level.
Yes.
You need money to buy suya
Suya.
if that's your level. If you have to go for fancy dates, you actually need money. If you want to go for luxury holidays, you need money.
That's true.
So
You can't sit
money
down and
is
say,
is
Father
serious.
Lord. So
If you are poor, you cannot pray.
Wow.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I thought the poor prayer and God answered.
No. There's something we say in my fellowship. When you are praying, ask God to bless you so that you are the evangelism. Are you listening?
Yes.
Now, how do you come out and tell someone that God exists when you are poor and you're in penury?
Mm.
You are going to meet someone telling the person that God is going to bless
Yes,
the person,
yeah.
but you are poor and you are in penury. God does not dwell in poverty.
I've said this
God is a
before.
God
People
of
say no.
plenty.
No. You know, I've told you before.
There's something you said earlier that I want to ask a question. So you give expert advice to people out there. You said, okay, now we have to talk about marriage. How about a marriage that's already faulty? The man is trying to bring it back together, and yet the lady does not want to make it work. She's still standing and want to leave, or she's encouraging the children not to even associate with the father. What do you think we should advise for such a home?
Very good question. So, when a marriage has already been established, if it was established on the wrong foundation, it will fall.
Definitely.
Now, why am I saying this? If you started marriage off on the wrong note, divorce is inevitable. It is inevitable. The thing that makes marriage work is the initial thing that binds us together. And the most important is the values that we share. By the grace of God, I have been married for over a decade. This is the 11th year of my marriage. There are many times when I and my husband will go to that place where we said, this marriage, I don't tire. But what held us back? First of all, we both never wanted divorce. It was never part of our plan. So even when we quarrel, point where we say, I don't want to divorce, and he comes back to that point and says, divorce is not part of this plan. Another thing that is very important, if you marry an unkind person, a person that does not know how to forgive, you will beg and beg in vain. And that's why we say God is a merciful Father. We, as His creations, whether we like it or not, we're created by God. We must learn to exhibit that character of God and be kind. Be forgiving. Let go. I have had to forgive things that I knew in my heart that if another person do this thing to me. But when it comes to marriage,
Let go.
we have had to forgive each other over and over and over and over again. There is no limit to it. Now, another thing, let us know each other's deal breakers. Let us know what the other person will never tolerate. I know what I cannot tolerate. She knows what she cannot tolerate. It is important that from the beginning, we make it known to our spouse. Like my husband will tell you now. When people are saying, man, give woman belly for outside, marry him. My husband will just say, that can never be my wife.
Exactly.
Because he knows that is a deal breaker for me. So the day he goes on to make such a mistake, he knows, I am doing this irrespective of the fact that I know that my wife is not going to accept this. It is not my prerogative whether I'm going to forgive or I'm going to walk out. But you knew what my deal breaker was.
The end limit.
You knew what my limit actually was. So when we have those things at the back of our minds, it guides us. It's just like that That's a manual. You know, we say marriage comes without a manual. But when we know, oh, we share these values, we have respect for each other's money. I don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I like this hair, I'm going to buy this hair. No, do you understand? I go back to the drawing board. Oh, what's our expenses for this month? What's critical? Do I have a little bit more? I go and I ask my husband, okay, these are our major expenses for the month. Is there any other thing that you think might sprout out that I probably am not aware of? And he says, so okay, I have this extra and I can buy my hair.
Exactly.
But I cannot just wake up in the morning and say I'm buying hair. Meanwhile, there's school fees to be paid, there's bills to be paid, you know, stuff to be done. Maybe we are building, we have the decking to do this week, and then I'm going to splurge 250,000 naira on hair when that amount can comfortably buy cement. So we have to be able to accept that. Do you understand? And I not just go out with friends when I know, oh, this is not what we stand for. So those values, if the couple did not have it
Values
from the beginning, and then the marriage hits the rock, there's actually no converging points.
OJ, what did you say that?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chiboy. You know, the truth of the matter is, I'm also learning a lot from
You
Famdi.
see?
Honestly, I'm learning a lot. But yes, the little I can say is communication matters a lot. You can't go into marriage without communication. Okay, let me use myself because she used herself as an example. So let me use myself. I remember when I was getting married, I saw, because I stayed with different people, had opportunity to visit families, stayed with them, vacations. I saw how parents struggle. They struggle to pay bills, struggle to eat. Sometimes the wife will say, you bring out this money. The husband will say, you are working. I didn't want such in my marriage. That's why I said, let me use myself because I can't vouch for other person. But I didn't want such in my marriage. So we communicated with my husband. And I said, okay, what is your financial plan? We had a financial plan. And God so kind, I got married to a man of God, but that's it.
Yeah.
We had a plan. What's your financial plan? And he spoke. I said, okay, it's fine, but I don't want that as our financial plan. This is the financial plan I have in mind. And we spoke about it, he talked about it. I said, okay, fine. Let's have a financial plan for the house, for the marriage, while we have our individual financial plans. And I think that's the same thing she did over a decade, and it's been working for us. So I think I'm on the right track. I just learned that I'm on the right track. So we had our financial plans, but we still have my financial plan. He has his financial plan. But in the marriage, no, we have our
central financial plan.
And when it comes to the marriage financial plan, as she said, you won't use the money for bills to go and buy hair.
Exactly.
You won't use the money for bills to send to your friend that is in need. You will use your financial plan to settle your friends. You will use your financial plans to settle other things. Now, in the marriage financial plans, you have family, you have your in-laws to take care of. You have unforeseen circumstances.
Yes.
You have house to build, or you want to buy landed property, or if you're in abroad, you want to be on the mortgage. You have to have a particular amount of money in your account before you get there. You have food. Imagine how much your salary is by the time you remove all these things. You have food to sort out. You have unforeseen things that can happen. Then you have fuels. You need to fix the car. You need to buy the fuel for the gen. You need to buy fuel for the cars. By the time you arrange this financial plan, as she said, you will not even have extra money to slot around. Then you will now realize that this job I'm doing or this business I'm doing, I need extra income. So without a plan, without a financial plan in marriage, you won't know if you need extra income. Then when you have these financial plans, it will help you grow in marriage. Then some things I've seen from my, I'm not up to a decade like Famdi in marriage, but by God's grace, I'm getting there. Yes. Of course, I'm getting there. But from the ones that we are less than a decade in marriage, apart from financial plans that have been their issues, that have shaken marriage, some of them is sex. As funny as it is sex. I think that's what most people do. A spiritual woman, maybe she will talk more on that. But that's what most people don't talk about. You know, yes, it's good you keep yourself before marriage. That's not what we're going to talk about here. Whether we are keeping ourselves before marriage or we are not keeping ourselves after marriage, that's not why we're here. But whatever it is, talk about the sex. Talk about it, because as much as you're having a financial plan, you should also have a sex plan. You can't say make love this time, make love not this time. No, but communicate it, because sometimes you find out that I've had friends that have communicated. My husband will tell me that, that's my friend, they'll tell you that my husband will tell me that, no, there's a timetable for love making. If you have talked about, no, it's as funny as it is the truth. If you talked about it, okay, this is how it is, no timetable, whenever I'm on here or when I'm at, just talk about it. I can't tell you what to talk about. Talk about it. So I think that also brings shaky marriage. Then children. I'll use myself for example. I always heard about postnatal depression from D. Honestly, I didn't know
How bad it
can be. Now, I'm using myself because I almost got to a stage where I hated my body. I think I spoke to you about it. There was a time I spoke to Dr. Comfort. After giving birth, I had lots of stretch marks on my stomach, and I was like, what is this? This is me. I was irritated. I said, what is all this? Yeah, all the fine body, the flat stomach, you know, no mistake, nothing. What is all this? No, as funny as it is, you are asking about shaky things. This is me. I got irritated of my own body. There was a time I spoke to family, I spoke to Dr. Comfort, and I remember you both said it will go with time, just keep applying share, but it will not, in a word, it will not clear totally. She made me understand that, see, face reality, your body is going to go through changes. Exactly. You might calm down, you might slim down a little, but you can never be that girl you were before you go, forget it. You can never be as skinny as you were. It can be depressive. I don't know if I'm wrong, but it can be depressive, because I remember many times I had to talk to my husband. He was like, why are you bothering yourself? Are you not happy to see your child? In my mind, hope he's not just saying this one to make me feel good. But that was his own person, because he had trained his mind, he had arranged his mind to see the worst in a woman's body. Yeah. But that postnatal depression, it got into me. I didn't like myself. I wasn't happy with myself. I felt I'd lost my dignity, I'd lost my charisma. But I had people around me. That's because I had people. There are people that don't have people around them. I had family, I had Dr. Comfort, I had my husband to tell me that, see, forget it. You might not be as skinny as you were, you might not be as you were, but you cannot also be
beautiful the way you are.
Yeah. My husband will always tell you, look at your child and be happy. And that was how I was able to manage that postnatal depression. I went into YouTube, checked out to manage postnatal depression. Most of them will tell you, watch film, watch video, listen to books. It's a shaking already. Yeah. And as at that time, I wouldn't want my husband to touch me or hold me. And he was like, what is all this? Like, no, my body's dirty. You know, maybe it was because I was a first time mom. Yeah. My body's dirty, I've gone through a lot, you know. It's not funny. If you were, maybe if you were him, you wouldn't have. If you were him, maybe it would have caused divorce by now. It's true. So that was me. Yeah. That was me going through depression.
Right, guys.
For couples who are having shaky marriages, couples counseling helps.
Yeah.
And a whole lot, it helps. For such a family, they should speak to an expert. It will help them.
So, guys, you have heard these two intellectual beings talked about marriage, and I feel like, wow, not a lot today. Thank you guys for coming to the show. You're out there, you're having issue in your marriage, and you feel it is right time to talk about it. I advise you especially that you should come out, drop a comment on this company box, or you can private chat me. I will link you to these two wonderful beings. This being here, wow. We'll talk to you about marriage and how to make your marriage work. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys.
Yeah, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.